With a star teasing the end of his pro wrestling career and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. With Naomi advocating for equality between men and women in WWE, Ringside News wrote that in an interview with Fault magazine, former SmackDown Women's Champion Naomi commented on the state of women's wrestling in 2024. Naomi advocated for equal TV time and wages for women wrestlers. "I think now is the best the business has ever been for a female wrestler thanks to women over the decades continuously breaking down barriers. I've seen a lot of growth and change in the industry since I started my career in 2009 with the way women are represented and treated in the business. Slowly but surely, women wrestlers have and are continuing to prove that we are draws, deserve the TV time, and wages equal to the men." Naomi was also asked how she would respond to people who say practicing femininity is at odds with contact sports like wrestling, and stated that WWE's women prove that theory to be incorrect. "I think the women of WWE proves that theory to be wrong. Women wrestlers have always proven even from the beginning that women can do it all. We are wives, mothers, business women, very unique performing athletes, and somehow make it look easy." Speaking about having to run AEW during the NFL draft, AEW President Tony Khan told the Rich Eisen show, "NFL Films was following me around in the neck brace while I ran back and forth like a speed dating episode. Like the Boy Meets World episode where Corey is both with the wrestling show and trying to date Topanga. It was like that. I was doing the undrafted free agency and going back and forth with AEW Collision, which was live after the NBA playoffs. It was one of those crazy things. Of course, they asked us to go on early because the Celtics Heat game was a blowout and they asked us to start 10 minutes early. That was, of all the days, draft Saturday while I'm doing undrafted free agency. I had to run back over to Daly's place and start the show. It was something. NFL Films shot the whole thing." In a video, Jey Uso's son can be seen hitting pads with his father.
Go. Duck after that. Boom. Okay, duck and then do it again. Ready? Go. Hook. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Duck. Boom. And then here. Boom. 2, 3. Boom. Duck. Boom. Boom. Go. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Quick, go. Do it 3 times, go.
When it comes to the viewership of AEW Collision from this past Saturday, Ringside News wrote that the latest episode of AEW Collision on June 1st continued the promotion's commitment to delivering an engaging experience for fans, although the ratings for this particular episode have seen a notable decline compared to previous broadcasts. According to Alfred Kanua, the June 1st edition of AEW Collision garnered an overnight average viewership of 122,000 viewers, accompanied by 34,000 viewers in the crucial 18 to 49 demographic. This marks a significant decrease from the previous episode, which drew in 366,000 viewers with a .14 rating in the same demographic. This week's episode of AEW Collision featured Will Ospreay and Kyle O'Reilly in a solid one-on-one matchup, while Roderick Strong ended up getting an AEW World Title shot for Dynamite next week and more. touching on a possible reason why he has been on the receiving end of so many betrayals in WWE. Rey Mysterio told Bleacher Report, "I'm too friendly with people, and because I don't know how to get mad and I can't be the bad guy even at home. My wife sometimes will tell me, you have to show them a little bit more attitude. I'm just so chill, I'm so relaxed. I can't change that character I've been for so many years, my whole life. I always end up trusting the wrong people, and that's my problem. Maybe one day I'll just snap and go crazy." At a WWE live event, Drew McIntyre would make Jey Uso believe that he would yeet with him. Speaking about the differences between her persona in WWE and how she is in real life, Tiffany Stratton told the Battleground podcast, "I think there isn't really much balancing for me. I think it all kind of comes naturally because the character that I play, it's more so me just turned up a couple of notches. Obviously, I feel like those are the best characters in wrestling is when it's authentic and it's you. So I feel like I don't really have to focus on it that much. So I kind of just go out there and I do whatever I feel and it works." Mentioning the synergies between WWE's Performance Center and the UFC Performance Institute, NXT booker Shawn Michaels said this on the Arash Markazi show. "I know that we are very excited about going out there, and that is one of the big to-do lists, to physically get to see it. We have talked a little bit with their folks out there. For someone who came from being a wrestling fan and then went through the territories, that's how I learned. It is very different now. The science that goes behind theirs and ours and how all that has changed is truly fascinating. Theirs is different from ours and probably has multifaceted of science that wouldn't vie in our line of work, but still fascinating. Our team is definitely looking forward to going out there and seeing what we can glean from what it is they do and if there is anything they can get from what we do. Everyone is looking advantages in this day and age to make their fighters and performers the best they possibly can. Whatever it is you can do to enhance that. We're always looking out for the latest and greatest on that." Going over the contract status of Jeff Hardy in AEW, it was said by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, originally Matt and Jeff's deals were to expire around the same time. However, due to some absences, Jeff got time added to his contract. Matt's was expiring in mid-March, and then they extended it to mid-April for some reason. With Jeff, I feel they could have added a significant amount more, and sometimes they wait until it comes down to the wire to do that. It ain't over until it's over in that regard. Recalling an idea he had for himself in WWE that went to another superstar, former star for the company, Elias, now going by Elijah, said this to metro.co.uk. "There was a character that I really thought could have been incredible myself. It was the Monday Night Messiah. And if you realize Seth Rollins and Authors of Pain ended up, for lack of better terms, they just gave it to those guys." Posting a couple clips to his Instagram, MVP revealed that he will be undergoing stem cell therapy as he prepares for the final stages of his pro wrestling career.
All right, kids, here we go. Flight to Cancun. Juve stem cell. It's the beginning of a new chapter. Beginning of a hopefully new chapter of my jiu-jitsu life, putting my body back together so I can compete again and be healthy on the mats. And maybe the beginning of my final chapter as a professional wrestler. See if I can get my last matches in before I finally hit the boots for good. At any rate, bored a little while. Here we go, Houston, Cancun, Mexico. Get this raggedy old body back working. Okay, here we go. Day one. Houston, Cancun. Yeah. You know who that is. Right about now, we about to feel the power. Yeah, right. Myers cocktail, doctor? Yeah. Myers cocktail? Myers, yeah. Okay. See if we can get this rejuvenation going. Let you know how it goes.
Speaking about the possibility of making a WWE comeback following his release from the company, Top Dolla, now going by AJ Francis, told the Wrestling Classic with Justin and Wheezy, absolutely, absolutely. The second run was worth it, and I'm telling you now, it's probably not going to be the last run. I have a good relationship with the people at WWE. I was backstage when they were in Houston just because I happened to be in town with Bun B. Bun wanted to come to the show, but he was booked. Then he ended up coming with me to TNA, and that was really cool. Addressing the fact that he got to work with Sexyy Red on NXT, Trick Williams said this on the Masked Man show. Get it, Sexy? Shake your dreads. My favorite song is Shake Your Dreads, for obvious reasons. I'm excited. Hip-hop is what I love and am familiar with. To find out Sexyy Red is interested and wanted to come to support the champion at NXT, I'm always down for that. It was a great experience. It was dope. Meeting Sexyy Red was like meeting one of my cousins, honestly. She's a real chick from around the way. When I met her on Tuesday, she's like, Trick Williams, I know who you are. I know who you are too. She was game and ready to have a good time. It was natural, out there, and fun. My entrance, she spiced it up. I wasn't expecting all that. I told her, do your thing, we'll do our thing. We'll make it look good together. That's what happened. Asked about his absence from WWE anniversary shows, Ken Shamrock told Steve Fall of Ringside News, yeah, you know, I mean, obviously there's something, I don't know what it is, but maybe it's the fact that I was only there for 3 years or a little less than 3 years. But I've been wrestling long before that, before I became a fighter. I don't know, like I said, it's not really my place to try to figure out what other people are thinking. But there's also the last probably 10 years, there's been an earthquake in WWE, you know? I mean, like, there's been a lot of things going on behind the scenes that fans don't see that I'm able to hear through the grapevine that have been always unsettling. So you don't know who's doing what over there now. I believe that there's some actual organization starting to happen and an actual business starting to be rebuilt. So, you know, we'll see what happens in the next couple years. During that same interview, Ken Shamrock mentioned how he felt seeing Kurt Angle adopt his ankle lock in pro wrestling. It was funny because everybody was hitting me up saying, dude, he stole your move. And I just kind of laughed. I was like, what are you talking about? They said Kurt Angle's using your ankle lock. And I was like, it's not mine. I don't own it. Somebody taught me that ankle lock when I was in the world of fighting. I brought it into wrestling. I brought a lot of things into wrestling. It's great to see all those things being used and the opportunity for these guys to use it in an entertainment aspect. When you look at the power bombs and the superplex and all these different things that people do and somebody else picks it up and uses it, these things shouldn't be seen as someone taking something from somebody. I look at it as honoring somebody. It appears another name has parted ways with TNA Wrestling, as Dave Meltzer said this in the F4W Online Daily Update. On the TNA front, besides the release of Lou D'Angeli, which we noted on yesterday's show, and Dave Sahadi, also let go was Lily Arenalo, who was D'Angeli's assistant in live event promotion and marketing. Clearly, the company is going heavy into cost-saving mode right now, but this has been called more than cutting to the bone and actually cutting bone. For information regarding a new show revolving around wrestling, Ringside News wrote that a fresh TV show centered around the world of professional wrestling is in the pipeline, as a recent pitch was successfully sold to FX. The half-hour comedy series is slated to delve into the vibrant Los Angeles independent wrestling scene, with the concept drawing inspiration from a blend of Dazed and Confused and The Wrestler. Luke Hawx is among the notable figures involved in the project, which aims to infuse authenticity by featuring real wrestlers within the storyline set against the backdrop of modern-day wrestling. Adair Cole, a familiar name in wrestling circles, is also on board. Cole, when approached for comment via Fightful Select, expressed his enthusiasm for developing a show rooted in the world of independent wrestling. He shared personal anecdotes of his long-standing passion for the industry dating back to his teenage years and hinted at further updates as the project evolves. I'm excited to be developing a show set in the world of independent wrestling. I've been dragging my friends to indie shows since I was 15 years old. I was in a garage with 12 other people the night Samoa Joe debuted. This is a world I love and feel very connected to. Unfortunately, I can't yet comment on where this show lands or who our partners might be, but I can definitely keep Fightful updated as things progress. In the meantime, I will personally be at Epic Pro Wrestling on June 2nd and GCW Hit 'em Up on June 15th, and I'm looking forward to meeting some people who love this world as much as I do. Cole, recognized as one of the co-writers and co-creators of a series inspired by the 2011 MMA film Warrior, remains tight-lipped about specific details regarding the show's distribution or potential partners. However, he eagerly anticipates connecting with fellow fans of the wrestling world during upcoming events, such as Epic Pro Wrestling on June 2nd and GCW Hit 'em Up on June 15th. With a fusion of humor, drama, and an insider's perspective, this forthcoming series promises to offer viewers a unique glimpse into the captivating realm of independent wrestling as envisioned by those deeply immersed in its culture and passion. As it's been reported that recent NXT call-up Dijak could see his WWE deal expire this month, former WWE star Matt Morgan gave his thoughts on the star, saying on the Gigantic Pop podcast, "Dijak could be good in AEW. They have miscast him multiple times, no question. He's a fantastic in-ring worker. I'm a big guy and I'm very, very competitive with comparing myself against some of these other big guys, but I'll be the first to say this dude is good. He's really good and he can work anybody." Asked about the WWE contract status of Chad Gable, Sean Ross Sapp said this on Fightful Select's Backstage Report podcast. Chad Gable's contract is up Friday, this upcoming Friday. He is factored huge into WWE plans and thus far does not have a new contract. He's expected to get offers from both companies if he hits that area. That's one to monitor. He's got an awful lot of leverage right now. Revealing that he suffered an injury during his match on AEW Collision, JD Drake noted on X, "I'm hurting something awful. My foot went into business for itself really early in the match, but there was still work to be done." Thank you, Anthony Henry, for having my back always. F the haters. Thank you to the real fans for the support. In some unfortunate news, an independent professional wrestler, Dirty Money Jermaine Robinson, passed away at the age of 44. He had been out of action since April after tearing both of his quadriceps in a match. A GoFundMe was set up for the star, as Devin Sturgis wrote a tribute to the wrestler on X. For those that have shared a locker room with or was entertained by him at a wrestling show, just wanted to let everyone know of the passing of Jermaine Robinson, aka Dirty Money, this morning. No further details at this time. Another user wrote, "Rest in peace, Jermaine Robinson, aka Dirty Money. He was a constant standout here in the Virginia wrestling scene and will be sorely missed. Of course, we wish his friends and family all the best during this time." As it was previously reported that Becky Lynch saw her contract with WWE expire, she is set to take a break from the company, with Ringside News writing that Becky Lynch's recent loss of the Women's World Championship to Liv Morgan, followed by a subsequent defeat in the rematch on Monday Night Raw, has raised questions about her future in WWE. With her contract set to expire, speculation abounds regarding her next career move. It has become apparent that Lynch won't be renewing her contract with WWE, as she is now officially a free agent. This development has prompted fans to wonder about her future prospects in the wrestling world. According to insights from Fightful Select's Backstage Report podcast, industry sources anticipate Lynch receiving groundbreaking contract offers, potentially making her the recipient of the most lucrative deals ever extended to a female wrestler. Industry sources, regardless of that, expect her to get the largest contract offers of any woman in wrestling history. Shawn Rossap commented on the podcast, "Regardless if she's going to go anywhere else, she's likely going to get those insane offers." While speculation abound regarding Lynch's future destination, including the possibility of a move to AEW or elsewhere, concrete details remain elusive. Fans eagerly await Lynch's decision and the next chapter in her illustrious career. With Ricochet nearing the end of his WWE deal, Shawn Rossap of Fightful Select added he signed a 5-year deal in 2019. "I know he's got interest from outside of WWE. I know for a fact he absolutely does. Will Ospreay was even open in an interview last week saying he'd love to face him again, and at least his contract is up soon." And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.